Show. What's in your cup?
A whole lot of everything, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody from all around the world. This is the best thing that ever happened to your entire existence. This is the Kickback Show, thekickbackshow.com. I go by the name of Foz, and she is...
Organic blackberry, tastes like it sounds like it tastes. And he is...
DJ Swivel. Anything less would be unswivelized. And shout out to Tiana Giovanna. She's a little delayed, but she'll be joining us shortly. So
Yes. And we got family back in the building again. Excited to see my brother, the meticulously multi-talented, magnificent, whatever, merchandising.
He said whatever.
Hey, hold up.
Merchandising, master of mayhem and mischief. You said philosophical?
Philosophical.
Misogynist? Listen, brother, whatever you participate in.
Hey, hold up. I just want
No
to tell
judgments.
you that I just want to tell you that you're doing awesome today. And that's it.
Oh,
I appreciate it. I just want to say that you look amazing today, and that's it, man.
Hey, brother. Is that curve you wearing? That smells great.
I try to take from the best. You know what I mean? I saw you wear juke since it came out. Just wanted to say, it's never smelled better.
Hey, your beard is well manicured right now, bro. I just had to let you know that. One black king to the next, your beard is well manicured.
I greatly appreciate that. The spokesperson of Jakar, I appreciate seeing you take time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Look, we was having a pleasant little pre-conversation and the snap started, so I had to take it back. Take it back to the what movie is that? Sorry to Bother You. Y'all seen that?
Nah.
no.
sorry to bother you.
What?
Oh,
man, you got to see it, and then that'll make complete sense. Either way, what's going on?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, though. I seen that clip. The two
right.
black dudes that's giving each other compliments.
Oh,
But it's looking
yeah.
like they're dissing each other.
Yeah, but it's
That's my
in the
shit.
form of compliments. Yeah,
Yes, it
that's the new norm. You know what I mean? It's good to see you, Mark W. in the building. What's up with you, my brother? How you feel?
Hey man, I'm good, man. I'm really glad to see y'all. We was actually supposed to get this interview earlier, but y'all busy now. Y'all in high demand. The Kickback Show is the shit. So I'm not mad at it. I will wait my turn in line. You know what I'm saying? I know my space is solidified with the fam, so I will wait my turn to talk with y'all. But I'm doing
Absolutely.
well. I can't complain at all.
Merch is
man.
fire.
Yeah.
Say it one more time.
Merch is fire.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Yes, thank you. This is one of the newer pieces, and then we also added some tank tops. We actually got the mask, and we got ladies. I guess you can call them ladies tank top, but the way they're cut in the back it's like a razor back cut. I think that's what they call it. My mom got one and she was excited about it. So yeah, I'm loving the new line of merch, and we're gonna get some more too.
And not only the new merch, but a new EP out. And
Yeah.
So we definitely gonna touch on that. Talking to myself, side A, and
Man.
Yes, sir.
and we have to mention, because it's only right, in a couple of days, the premiere of season 2 of RawStream. So
Yes.
the
Hey,
title,
look, I don't think we talked with this. I don't think RawStream was a thing the last time we spoke.
nah.
Yeah, I
No.
don't think it was. So yeah, that's man. I'm so, and imagine we have a whole season under that belt since the last time we spoke. That we're on season 2. That's kind of like them TV shows that somebody tells you like, oh, have you seen this show? Like, nah, I ain't seen it. When does it start? Oh no, they on season 5. Like,
Right.
you told me about it yesterday. Like, sheesh. Yeah. That's I'm really excited about RawStream and more so excited about talking to myself. That thing is moving, man. I got family members calling me saying, I never knew you could do that. Like, I've been shooting you my material for years. But it's
What do you think? What do you think
the
the difference is now? when it pertains to getting family involved and listening?
That's a good question, and I think it has to do directly with being more honest in my approach with everything. So, not saying that I've never been myself in music, but I think this is the most unapologetic in myself I've been. So, I was always concerned about bar work and making sure I was the MC's MC, as opposed to making music that other people can relate to in my story. And not trying to be so intricate and everything, and really just making it plain, because I've never really made that approach. So just making the stories as plain as I can make them, to where people know where I'm coming from. And I think my family, hearing that, they now know, like, oh, okay, I didn't know that's what you were talking about. And I think they really understand it now, as opposed to having to be well versed in that realm of being an MC. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Now, with talking to myself, I mean, clearly that's something that I feel like everybody does every day. We have these, whether it's internal or an external conversation that we have with ourselves, but it's very rare, and clearly you being the artist that you are, with so many different facets, it's rare that we're able to capture those thoughts, package it, and then deliver it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I say that to say that for me personally, I know that there's a lot of those conversations that I have that are really for others, right?
Yeah, right.
Was that your intention going into this project, or was it, these are things that I just normally think about, or this is just something I want to create, let me just put it in the atmosphere, see where it lands, or was it with an intention?
So let me see how I can unpack that question. So I would say it's more or less along the lines of, these are things that I think about on a normal basis. These are conversations that I have with myself at 3 o'clock in the morning driving home with might be a problem. These are conversations that I have in the studio with my older brother when it comes to the type of music we about to create with Balance. Then you have Testify with me and Quest, or Jaquay rather. I got to remember to call him by that name. But these are conversations where it's like, we have come a long way. So they're both external and internal. But the difference with this project is the basis of it comes from, I like to think I make soundtrack music, and soundtrack music for myself. And it stems from a question that somebody asked me, who are you talking to? Like, for example, Basement Product. Songs like that, somebody would ask me, who are you aiming these bars at? Who are you talking to? And I even had to sit back and think, like, who am I talking to? And really, I'm doing it for myself, because I need reminders. I need little things throughout the day to let me know that either you're doing the right thing, or if you find yourself doing this, you better start turning left or start turning a different direction. So these are all real self reminders to stay focused, stay humble, remember to take care of the people that take care of you, remember to bring it home at the end of the day, and work hard, because that's what's been instilled in you. So at the end of the day, these are all songs that otherwise would have been sitting in my computer or in my car ride going home, and it's really for myself. So that's why it's called Talking to Myself.
Yeah, that's Turn Around, right? That's the end.
Yeah.
Does he really know what he's talking with though?
That's actually two hands. That's 2 hands. That's at the end of Turn Around though. So
yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah. So
the thing about Turn Around, what I like about it, that's definitely all. One is it's my favorite shit talking track, because it has a little James Brown funky type groove. But it's also like a reminder for myself, like, yo, you want people to like this stuff, but you ain't giving them a chance to like it because you moving so fast. Slow down, let them see it. This, like, just slow down for just a second. You can get back to it, but just slow down. And then coming out of it, it's the two voices are like, does he realize he's talking to himself? And the irony is, those are two voices in my head talking to themselves, talking to me.
Right.
So it's like, all kind of double entendres and things.
Which also goes back to, like, Foz's earlier point of, like, we all do that, right? We all have you know, the we've seen them on the cartoons too, like the devil and the angel on the shoulders, like, you know, like the different parts of our consciousness just all kind of like talking to ourselves and going back and forth and trying to figure out what's the best decision to make or which is the best route to take in life.
That's a fact.
Now, what's interesting to me, and because I, you know, obviously having conversations with you, Mark, like prior to the EP dropping, is some of these songs are a couple years old.
Yeah.
So like to be able to kind of get everything to where it becomes one cohesive EP, like, and I kind of know what's coming down the road, so I don't know if you've ever hinted at that yet, but maybe in the title you can kind of catch an idea. But
exactly,
how did the cohesiveness come with, you know, some songs that are a little bit older?
So that part, you know, as we all know, with like artists, it gets a little. It depends. You know, it all takes from the storyline and the arc you're trying to tell, and then what songs fit that best. So to be transparent, Balance is probably the oldest track on there. That was a holdover from Without Permission. And as you know, Without Permission came out in 2016 or 17, as they have it stamped on Spotify and all that. But when it comes to putting them all together, there's the sonics element, there's the overall story that goes into the product, and then is it still relevant to who I am as an artist? And I think that's for everybody when they're putting together a cohesive project. It just so happens that these songs worked. So it kind of came down to, in the process of putting it together, I took all the songs that I knew in my mind sounded a certain way, and then put them in a playlist and then play them back to back. Do these songs make sense sonically? All right, some of them do, some of them don't. The ones that don't, snatch them out. Then it comes into the story that's being told. Then, and if the stories are in line with the theme of the album, and it goes, all right, let's play with that order. And if the order still don't fit, all right, we gotta do another cut. So it just so happens that it's, you know, like I said, the oldest song, Being Balanced, worked because it sonically it fit. Still has the same theme of what's going on. It's still that conversation that I'm having with myself. So it's a delicate process. I wish I could say that there was a particular rhyme or reason for certain songs. I knew Balance I wanted on there. I knew Testify, that's another old song, I wanted on there. In the newer songs, Basement Product, which happens to be the lead one off the project, that's the newest song, which Swivel had a hand in fine tuning in that one, because the hook definitely sounded different. And so it was like, what if you did? All right, cool. And he got writing credits for that one. My G. You know what I mean? So, you know, the newest song, that's obviously like the marketing game is, all right, what can I put in the mix that I know people are going to get behind, and what's very current? Just playing that game, because I'm trying to get into that, playing that marketing game. But I haven't, you know, as far as a rhyme or reason besides those that I listed, it just felt right. Yeah. It just felt good, you know?
So how was the actual storytelling part? Like, how did that
that's where the two voices came into play. So for this one, for this project, I definitely wanted to go around the story. I wanted to go around the sonics of it. I wanted it to flow top to bottom, because I think all the stories can stand by themselves independently. They can just stand alone. If I was put that out as a single, it'd do well. But then interweaving those into a story that's cohesive, that's where those two voices come into play. And I utilize the interludes, which is why the thing starts off backstage. And then you see the cover art, it's everybody looking from behind the artist, because that's a rare view that you see. You only see that view if you're doing some work behind the stage, or if you're a part of the team. In this case, it's the two voices looking at their guy, like, all right, let's make sure we take care of him. The other side is going to be it's going to play along those lines as well. But I really wanted to focus on the sonics, and then find a way to interweave the story in between the two. So the interlude is where it really kind of made everything glue together. So you're at a show, you're at a show with these three rather, and the interludes is like, all right, I just got done with that set. All right, now I'm back to talking to myself again. All right, man, forget what y'all talking about. Let me go back and keep performing. So yeah, that's the story element. That's how I wanted that to go.
Each song for me, I was like, they were so different, but so it's like it made you kind of like shift your mind and get in a different bag each one. And the interlude is what for sure connects it all, though.
Yeah, and they needed to do that. I know a couple of my counterparts, like Shylar, he would tell me like he's not a huge fan of interludes. Certainly some of my older comrades will tell me like, man, why you put the interludes in there? They don't make sense. It does make sense. You just don't feel like doing that much thinking. That's fine. That's fine. But I greatly enjoy I greatly enjoy interludes on like I think De La Soul has some of the best interludes when I was growing up listening to their stuff, because it was so relevant to the times they were around. So I just kind of wanted to jump in that same bag.
I think they're great when, you know, they kind of fit the theme of the project and kind of help tell the story. Like, you know, like his albums did the same thing. Like,
oh man,
with his interludes, right? Like it really like helped the whole flow of the album and just kind of, you know, make everything cohesive. So like when it's done that way, it's great. But like if you just got random interludes, it's like, you know, I can see why do that. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
and
go ahead.
Oh, I'm good. I was just saying for sure. I
feel like in this time, like with the shift of like how COVID kind of forced people to like adjust their, I don't know, whatever it did for people, but the storytelling on tracks, you know, with podcasting being a big thing now and stuff, like it's a good contrast to be going from the music to a little bit of a story to back to some music. I think that it's a good balance.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. I definitely was looking to make that balance in there for sure.
I feel like that some of the interludes, and I'll bring up my man Redman, because he did have like a bunch of random, seemed like random skits. Yeah. I feel like they do have their place as well with adding character to that artist. You know what I'm saying? To kind of break up. And this is piggybacking off of Brandy, like, you know what I mean? Saying like, you know, this, we get the music and all of that, but let's add something funny. Let's add, you know, a little bit of character. Let's add something that we all think to say, you know what I mean? Or something that we know. Because I mean, back then with Redman, you know, the whole like Jerry Springer type parodies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it was drama filled, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's I think if it's done the right way, I think it definitely enhances. But I agree though, it makes much more sense when it can add value to the already existing aesthetic of the album.
And I think that's the part where it becomes disjointed, when artists spend so much time worried about the interlude and not the basic meat. Like if you're not spending that much time on the music, you ain't even worried about the interludes. The interlude should be an afterthought and its own entity at that. And then they're pointed, like you said, with Redman, even though they might not have been necessarily directed to the narrative of the project, it did do something and it was intentional. Like it's to showcase that personality. It was to, and then in the sense of like, I think Wu-Tang just did that in general. Like that spoke to their overall narrative. Like with the snapper session, like I'll put your freaking your balls onto a spike bat and just keep banging them shits and just banging them. You know, like you know what I'm saying. Like because it speaks to a narrative. Might not be the album, but if you are a fan of them, it'll definitely do something for you. And I did that back in the day with Lost Dialect. We had many conversations with Rafiki, like, why are we putting this at the end of the song? Because that's the shit we listen to. It's funny as hell to us. Like the bitch skit from Key and Peele. I said. So, you know, we got into a lot of arguments like that. But allowing the artist to tell the story that they want to tell, regardless of what it comes to. I think that's the main idea that should come with interludes. And I definitely wanted to focus on the story narrative. I wanted everything to be cohesive, from the album artwork to the songs and then the interludes. They all had to gel for me. That was my intention with it.
I gotta throw.
You
I
hit
gotta
the
throw
nail on
Snoop.
the head, brother.
Thank you. I
I
appreciate
gotta
it.
hit. I gotta shout out Snoop with doing that as well. I think he did a great job at
Yeah.
some of his skits and
Mhm.
adding that kick to it. Speaking of all the music, man, I think it's only right that we get into some of it and come back and talk more about all the multi-levels that are Mark W, the meticulously multi-talented. What do you which one do you want to get into, man? I know we
Might
talked
be a
about a bunch
problem.
of them.
Come on.
Hey,
There
I'm
it
not
is.
mad. Hey, look, that was like one of the heavier tracks on that one. So let's get into. I'm gonna let the queen dictate.
Come
You know what I'm
on,
saying?
man.
We gonna throw it to Might Be a Problem, produced by drummer Beezy.
There it is. This is the Kickback Show, the kickbackshow.com. DJ Swivel in the mix. Mark W is all up in this.
You snitch, you.
Snitch you.
For new and exclusive music, listen to the Kickback Show.
Only pace I know is go get it. Can't slow down when your background got some code in it.
The Kickback Show. What's in your cup?
The Kickback Show, the kickbackshow.com. Mark W is all up in the building.
Do you have on a high ponytail?
A what?
Me?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
beanie.
he's got.
Oh.
Oh,
you
you
talking
have a
about
high
me?
ponytail beanie. Wow, look at that.
No, this ain't. Well, it's like a, what's it called, a wrap or whatever, like a lock scarf.
Oh, and then your shit
And
comes out the top?
And I just pulled it down and yeah, got a high tail, and I got one in the back too. I got two.
You have
Basically
holes,
two.
those are holes that came in it for your hair?
No, it's literally like a full scarf that has like a
Oh.
hole. Now that I got the hang time, putting like a full bonnet on there, it crunches up the locks. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I wake up in the
yeah,
morning,
yeah,
take it
hey,
off,
hold
and I
on.
got this.
Oh, I think the screen
I got a bump. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A
Hey, get
bob
him with
and a
this like,
bump.
look, a little trick
Yeah.
my brother used to do though. When he ran out of those, he would take old wife beaters and cut the bottom of those and then tie those around the back and give that same look.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay, see, here's a little trick here. Get you your mama, your grandmama stockings. You cut the foot out. You put it down. You let it hang out. That's
Let's make sure that old stocking is clean though.
That's
Let's
the
make sure
oldest
that-
trick in the book. I think so.
Walking around
That
with
is.
your forehead smelling like feet.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Hey,
you gotta
who-
cut the feet off. You cut the feet off. It's all good.
Why?
It smells like
Why
thigh.
your foot? What? She just smell like thigh.
Smell like
Look. It depends on whose stocking they wear. If it was grandma's thigh, I'm not gonna do it.
You gonna smell like peppermint. You gonna smell like peppermint.
Oh, that little caramel suckers. You just, that
Right,
at the
right.
bottom of the
Werther's
purse.
original.
All
Oh,
from
hey, those
all
were the
from flavor.
best candies. The best candies.
Which one?
Werther's
The Werther's
original.
original. The Werther's originals.
Is that the butterscotch one?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hard butterscotch candy.
Hell
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
They it's like you couldn't chew on them, but you felt like you could. It was just so make your mouth water. Just oh my
Oh,
goodness.
that-
I'd be
And
in
then
church
if you
this-
chew on them and it get in your tooth a little bit, you just suck on that tooth until it's gone.
See, I bet you was one of them silver tooth kids. You just had all silver teeth.
I
'cause
had
you
a
was
few.
chewing
I
on
had a
them.
few.
Oh, see,
I had a few.
already know. Already.
I didn't have a good dentist though. He used to say oops a lot. My mom said the next time you say oops, you get out of the chair.
Yeah.
He used to say oops a lot.
There are certain professions where oops is not allowed.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying.
That's one of them.
Dentist is probably the first one. Your
Nah.
barber, your beautician,
Tattoo
Right.
the tattoo, your tattoo artist.
Well, a
Yeah.
tattoo artist, you can make up on a tattoo. I would say a pilot, a barber definitely can't have no oops.
No.
Shouldn't have no oops for no
Yeah,
barber.
I had a
Hawaiians
hairstylist.
Not say oops.
She tried to dye my hair and I was trying to go blonde or something. She put a little red in. She said, well, I guess you're going to be red. Like, bitch, no. I did not ask. She said, well,
And then try
I
to
guess
wash
you
it out and
red.
gonna be pink. Try to wash it out a little bit, like, ooh, it looks good. No, the fuck it don't. Get
No,
back to work.
This is not to go. This is not to go.
Feel like a surgeon. Surgeon is another one.
Oh, yeah.
Surgeon is definitely the one. But you won't hear
Yeah.
them say oops. They're gonna wake you up like, so what had happened was you went
Right.
in for a procedure.
Right.
Oh
I
man.
wonder what all those doctors said or those dentists said when they was do y'all remember that time when it went viral that all those dentists got on camera molesting the people that was under when they was under? Y'all remember that back in the day?
That.
Y'all remember that?
I don't remember a bunch of them. I remember like 2.
Yeah.
I intentionally looked up those videos, but it was on a different adult website.
I know what site you talking about.
So it was staged. It was
Oh,
staged. I don't know if it was.
okay.
I don't know if it was real.
They go ahead and put a,
You know
put a
what's
little gas
crazy?
mask under, wait till their eyes fall down, and they just.
No,
Yeah.
you guys just put you can't. Okay, John, you must be. You're very versed in some things because this is the second week in a row that I gotta go Google some shit. The first one was the thing where it's like you just like to watch people. I mean, that's a thing. I had to look it up. It's a real thing. Now I gotta look up.
Voyeurism. That's some real.
Oh yeah.
Real life. So look, since we're having this conversation with ourselves, because these are definitely conversations I have with myself, I say we get back into some music, and then let's come back and I want to ask you about some stuff about yeah. I want to ask you because it's a great conversation. You know what I'm
You see
saying?
how his eyes lit? Like, I'm like,
Not
Yeah,
necessarily,
right.
well, not about that, but you know what I mean? Like this, like when you talk to yourself, you know what I mean? Clearly there are revelations that come out. And what he just said, as far as like determining something being good or bad, it's kind of like when you have conversations with yourself, I feel like that's part of, the dichotomy. It's like, yeah, this feels,
For sure.
it feels good, but I'm told that it's bad. So is it really bad, or you know what I mean? But I want to figure out how that for you maybe have translated in the music. So
For sure.
you know what I'm saying? So let's come back with
That's a
that.
good one. That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'll be thinking, man.
Hey, and that's why you are who you are.
And
That's why.
I wouldn't be who I am without people like you.
My God.
You know what I'm saying?
it's
Hand
the
in hand.
cap. The cap sucks up all the knowledge and keeps it there. And then it trickles down and it comes out of his mouth.
That's why he leaves it. That's why he leaves the top open so the spirits can come in.
The
Yeah, exactly.
the antennas.
Straight to the third eye, down and
Antennas.
out.
It sounds funny, people, but these are facts. Look it up. Your
These are antennas.
connection. Your connection.
Yeah. It's real talk.
My antennas aren't well groomed right now, but it's there. The antennas are there.
My antennas
Hey.
are under this wig and they're face at the ground. But what happens is they get the ground and it comes back up and it
You
goes
rooted.
inside.
You rooted. That's what it is. You rooted. That's
Rooted.
This is it's the Kickback Show, the kickbackshow.com.
What up?
DJ Swivel is in the mix.
He's all like, let me get mine in.
No. I'm just saying we got to figure out what record of the EP are we about to play.
I figured you was just gonna go into something. I figured,
Turn
yeah.
around. Turn around.
Yeah.
There
There you
it
go.
is.
Going to turn around. There you go. Yeah.
Turn around.
Turn around. There it is.
Yeah, hey, look, your girl got the
Party
bounce
the
to him,
sick
Swivel. You got him today.
He looked like
Dangerous. They curls.
Luscious curls. He got a little juice in that thing.
he looked like Kid on Class Act when after
Hey, there you go.
Takeover.
Yes.
Hey, real talk.
Yes.
That was part of my inspiration for growing my hair out as a kid. I always
Get
wanted to
outta
be like
here.
Kid, bro.
All right,
That's
let's get into this record.
Oh, this what
We
we
tripping.
doing. All
Yes,
right.
There it is. The
I guess I
Kickback
gotta
Show,
rub
snitch.
some stays on this stuff. Watch out. Look. I gotta put my cool on cruise control. So many of them on that clutch and go.
The Kickback Show. What's in your cup?
A whole lot of everything, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Kickback Show, the kickbackshow.com. Meticulously immaculate, marvelous Mark W.
That's two different artists.
Matrimonial.
Matrimonial,
Materialistic.
materialistic.
Not materialistic. Hold up. I take all the little alliteration, but materialistic. I might be a little bit.
Doesn't work.
As he has a wall of hats behind him.
I know, right?
But I also got
Yeah.
Kunta.
Okay.
That's
See the juxtaposition there.
Ah.
Yeah, you talking to yourself right now. So,
Hell yeah.
so with this, I mean, we really started to kind of unpack some real deep
Man.
trauma in a sense, right? Was there any part, and I say that because, again, going back to understanding what's real, what we deem as being bad, and it not really being as bad as we get older, right? At any part of this album with you talking to yourself, did you unpack any of that, even if you didn't necessarily record it, but was that a part of your process in saying, you know what, this needs to get talked about, even though it may not necessarily be a popular opinion within my family, hypothetically speaking?
So there was a moment there. So the Might Be a Problem that we played, that's actually one of my favorite introspection tracks because it's definitely hitting on some close to home topics for me. So, you know, we always hear the narrative of, and I'm definitely guilty of this. I work, I don't sleep, I get to it, I get to the bag, all that. What we don't hear is what happens on the other side of that sacrifice. What happens when you're so focused on a goal that you forget a couple things along the way. So that first verse, you know, look what your daddy did to your mama ain't no slouch, nigga. So it comes from that. Like I directly say, like I get my go-get-itness from my parents.
Right.
But then at the end of that verse is like, hold up, did I eat? I ain't really slept like that. I don't know, I'm focused. Do way more shit past what the clock see. And then most people hear that on surface and be like, oh yeah, that's Nick going so hard, you don't eat. That's a problem if you're not eating. That's a problem.
Right.
Like, and my wife reminds me all the time, like I'll come out of the office, you know, I'll be in here 8-10 hours and not even realize that I've been in here for so long working. And then she goes, and I'll say like, damn, my hair really hurts. Like, did you eat today? Like, oh yeah, I didn't eat. That's a bad thing. Then to that, the second verse, coming home as late as I do, or as I was when the studio was still in LA, now that I work in Orange County, or that I live in Orange County and was working in LA, it's like, you know, she knew what she signed up for when we got married. But at the same time, while I know this is what you do, how long do you intend for this to sustain a marriage? What happens when the kid gets involved? Are you still gonna be coming home at 3 a.m? And to the point of my parents, it's like my dad would come home late. I didn't see him that often. Yes, I had both parents in the home. Very glad for it. Very fortunate for it. But would I have liked to see my dad more often? Hell yeah. Like, you know, by the time he comes home, I'm already in bed. Is that the same story that I want my son to tell when he gets to be my age? What are some of these things that what cycles are we breaking here?
Yeah.
You know, and then not for nothing is she gonna want to be around to when you know, that gets continued on. So these are the questions I would ask myself. And when I got that beat from drummer Beezy, while it sounds real fun and I could have went, you know, super light, I was like, well, I kind of want to do a juxtaposition. I want it to sound really fun. Like that, it's one of those records where it can get you to the club and get you to come home. Going to the club, you can just vibe to the beat and have a good time. But on the way home, when you're done listening to all that music and you just want to hear the lyrics, now you're hearing like, oh, damn. Well, maybe I do need to spend more time with my wife for that person. Maybe I need to spend more time with my little brother, my little sister, my cousin, my auntie, all that, because I done forgot about them along the way of getting what it is that I want. You know, these people want to share in your success too, but if you're not around for them to even see it manifest, like, yeah, you know, it ain't gonna be for nothing. You're gonna be you'll be in the throne, but you'll be by yourself. Yeah, so I think that track in particular speaks directly to that narrative, but then the off conversations of like balance, like it's we were talking off air about what it is that you really want, getting down to your basic, your foundation. Like in rap, and I know every MC has it, and I come from that, the underground is so real. It's like we talk about real stuff as real bars, but then, you know, I put out an album, if I'm gonna put it out, am I cool with it not making money? If I wanted to make money, realize that's gonna have to change the way you approach certain things. Yeah. You might not be able to do the extra ribbity rap stuff that I'm talking to myself. the extra ribbity rap that you like, that you think that makes you go twisted face, that's cool. But is that gonna make you any money?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like these are the balance like those are the conversations I would have. Like, what is your end goal? Who are you doing it for? Who do you want to see with you when you get to your destination? Are you enjoying the journey along the way? So it's, there's definitely been those conversations with myself and some of my team members that are that have decided to come along this journey with me. It's imperative for me that I can actually unpack those things in the album creation.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I think, to your point, are very quick to be like, oh, I want this, that, and the next, as far as the bank account, the car, and the house. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, what's the cost? What's the real cost of your perceived success?
Yeah.
And is it even worth it?
Is the end goal always a feeling thing too? Like, is it always a feeling thing, or is there a sacrifice there? Because some people, we've had artists on the show saying there's a balance where they like do want to make money off of it, but they do want to keep themselves. Like, what's the end goal?
I think it goes to what degree are you going at it for? So if it's, I go at it and I want to be Beyonce, there's going to be some sacrifice along the way there. And you even hear her talk about it. It's like, you're not going to spend that much time with your family. Yeah. You're just not. Because now you are a servant of the people at that level. Because when you go out, you're not somebody's mom. You're not somebody's friend. You are this person I put all my hopes and dreams into, and the words you speak directly to me. No, we've never met, but I feel like I've known you all my life. I feel like that with Snoop Dogg. I've heard his voice so many times. Never met the man in person. But I feel like if I met him, like, oh my God, I know you. No, I don't. But that is the role that he chose. Or you can be the local, celebrity. There's a sacrifice with that, but it's not as heavy. Mm-hmm. So I think assessing what it is that's gonna make you feel, as Tiana brought up on her Instagram, joyful. What's gonna bring you joy? And then what joy is gonna make you happy at the end of the day? So for me, when I quit my 9 to 5, I'm not making as much money. I'm working a whole lot more, but I feel happier at the end of the day because I know I'm doing exactly what I want to do. Do I want to make more money? Yeah, but I like my happiness a lot more. But then as I get deeper into it, do I want to make more money? What am I sacrificing to get there? So at the end of might be a problem. I said, who's gonna pay that price tag? Who's gonna pay that price tag of that gas tank you taxed? Because somebody got to pay it. There's always gonna be a sacrifice, whether it's large or small, and it all depends on where you're trying to get to. So while I might have my goal, I don't want to live like a blanket statement and saying it takes this sacrifice, because it all depends on where you want to go. I know where I want to go, but I'm still trying to navigate, which a lot of this album is still trying to figure out. I'm navigating my path to get there, because there are certain things I don't want to lose. And it's going to make me move a certain way. And if I have to, and if this is the place I want to get to, you got to be comfortable and have those conversations with your family. Like, this is where I want to get to. Are we on the same page? Do you understand you won't see that much about me? Right. What do you expect of me? And then do I want to honor your request as much as I want to honor the place I want to get to? I think all that is involved. Important.
You know, what's I couldn't help, like, as you were kind of breaking all that down, I couldn't help but think, especially because 224 is around the corner. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because
say that one more time. My bad.
Thinking about Kobe, because he poured so much into basketball that and to playing for the fans, and the sacrifice that came with it, as far as being away from his family while he was chasing those championships, and then now fast forward to like when he retired. It's like now we were about to see like him put all that energy into his family, and he even talked about, like, man, I just love being with my kids and just acting like a goofball with my kids. And like, I was so, I guess, like, anxious to kind of see like how that side of Kobe, would have been beautiful. Get the experience, and then just to have it like snatched away just like that. But I mean, I couldn't help but like think of that, just because of the impact he's made on people around the world just by playing basketball, and the sacrifices he made, and how his family had his back during that time.
Oh yeah. And I think that comes to that conversation of like what it is that you feel like your purpose is. Like if your purpose is to be everybody else's inspiration, that family life is going to get sacrificed. So good example I can bring it back to is my pops. My pops is a preacher. He's now moved to East Coast, and he's over there. But in there, and Foz, I'm sure you can attest to this as well. Like when you got family that's in the clergy, they are now indebted to the people.
Yeah.
So the person I know as my dad is not the person everybody knows as their pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to get comfortable with that really quick. And then understand that that's his purpose. That's the contract he signed along the way. His contract was, I gotta be that rock for everybody else. So I'm gonna need you to sit over here and be comfortable in the fact that I love you. I will always support you. I'll always be there for you. Although I might not be there physically with you, there's a greater purpose that I have to serve. But again, that conversation with the family has to realize, and what's sad about the fact that you brought up, Swivel, is we would have gotten to see him sit in that family role, but because he got taken away, we now have to look at the greater purpose, like what he served, his greater purpose, and his time here, his contract was up.
Right.
We would have all loved to see him in that light, in that seat, and we were seeing glimpses of it every now and again. And I'm sure the time they did have their family have with him while he was in that retirement mode, I think they'll treasure forever. But
imagine, the amount of focus and dedication and meticulous, steps he took to playing basketball. Imagine him applying that to being a dad. And
some of it went to show because of how after the fact, his book things, they were all pretty lined up,
Yeah.
With, so it's like it goes to show that intensity when it did go, and we saw a little bit, and it just would have been like,
yeah.
Oh, that it would have been a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah.
It's very much an oxymoron. Shout out to Schoolboy Q, which his debut album was exactly that, right? It's like we work so hard and we're absent, but the greater good is for the family. Kobe worked that hard for his family to be comfortable and not have to worry about things. You know what I'm saying? Like our parents, as you mentioned, like being in the church, they accepted this call into ministry, but the overall point in them going out doing revivals and X, Y, and Z was to put food on a kid's table. And
yeah, it really comes down to, I think, what is that time worth? Like, because at the end of the day, it's almost like you have to put a dollar figure on that time, right? Like I remember when Ian and I first got married, Swivel and I first got married, and I was just working in like retail, right? And so obviously my time, I was an hourly employee making, whatever, $15 an hour, right? So it's like this hour that I could be spending with my child, this hour that I could be spending with my family, that's only worth $15 to somebody. You know what I mean? Like when you have to think of it like monetarily exchanging that time for a paycheck. It's like that's hard, especially, and then you think about these people who are making like minimum wage, below minimum wage and stuff. Like this was 10 years ago. No, I'm sorry, I was making $17 an hour because I was in management. 10 years ago, making $17 an hour is not bad. Today, there's people making $7.25 somewhere. And so it really comes down to, you got that hustle and stuff, and like, Ian's got his own thing that he's doing, and I got my own thing that I'm doing. But at the same time, you're like, okay, how much how much is this time with my child worth? Like, what am I exchanging?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a hard transaction to calculate.
Yeah.
Boz, you were about to come through a revelation on that part, and I just, I wanted to hear the climax of it.
It's the oxymoron is that we do these things for the greater good, and I shouted out Schoolboy Q because he mentioned that as part of his album. Oxymoron album was I sold drugs and gang banged and did all of this, but it was for my daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was his whole message. It's like, and that's part of the reason, why I asked, Mark about the redefining of what's bad, and again having these conversations with ourselves.
Yeah.
And what we're doing and coming to these revelations because, society tells us that, something like, again, using Schoolboy Q as an example, something like gang banging and doing everything that he's talked about doing as a bad thing, but it was for a greater good. You know what I'm saying? It was like, look, like I live in poverty. Like there was so many odds that were stacked against me that, yeah, I could have chose to do something else, but these are the cards that I was dealt, and I did the best that I could in order to keep a roof over my daughter's head, to keep my family straight, to deal with this, my grandmother, my uncle, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And I think, that's part of it is that, our parents or whoever, us, ourselves, like we make these sacrifices for a greater good, you know what I mean? And sometimes they don't necessarily fit in the constructs of society and what, an ideal relationship looks like, or ideal parenthood, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm emotional because my dad passed away a few weeks ago. So.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, bro.
No, I'm clearly emotional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm at peace. I'm at peace with everything, but you know what I mean? Like I feel you. Like going and doing, you know what I'm saying? Like giving your life to something. Yeah. And to other people is, it is a choice that we make, but again, it's, what's that conversation we're having with ourselves, right? Like, what are we falling back on? What is my motivation? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And the motivation is key in that. For me, I will say the initial was selfish as far as this is what I want to do, but then it became less selfish when somebody else, i.e. my wife, got involved. So I can, and it goes back to that balance situation where I can rap for myself and I can do all these things, but if this is the career choice that I've decided to take, I now have to make sure that somebody else can eat off of it too, because I can give myself top ramen every night. I'm good, but that's not how she wants. That's not how she wants to eat. That's not how we want to live as a unit. So now this thing has to make some kind of money. What sacrifices am I making there, and then what sacrifices have we agreed upon that will be made, and what we're not going to give up, what we are going to do. And now I'm doing this more than just for myself, because somebody else has to live off of this too. So I agree with what you said is, what is the foundation? What is the greater good? What is the outcome of that? And if it's self-serving only, then it is a problem. It's definitely a problem.
I love you. Wave cap, Johnny. Just want to throw that out there.
I love you too. Let's get into some music, brother. Man. What else? What's another record that we can get into?
So we can lighten the mood a little bit, have some definite fun. I definitely mess with Two Hands. That is one of my favorite tracks, featuring Lisa Mona, my sister in rhyme, as I call her. Yeah, that's my joint. So Two Hands, that's definitely the joint. We could talk about that too if you want to come back to it. But either way, that's the one I want to throw it to.
There it is. It's the Kickback Show, thekickbackshow.com. Mark W is in the building. Snitch, DJ Swivel in the mix.
Yes, sir.
If you talking a tight grip, mine's a vice lock. Like the click from a deputy's brace watch. If it makes sense, I'm in pocket. Flipping it to a knot, then make a deposit.
The Kickback Show. What's in your cup?
A whole lot of everything. Mark W in the building. Kickbackshow.com, all up in his snitch. So meticulously multi-talented definitely isn't something that's said in vain, because you are somebody that clearly upholds all of that. You know what I mean? From not just being a writer, an artist, a producer in the essence of creating, right? Versus being behind the actual pads, right? But also being an engineer, you know what I mean? Which is probably the most important part of
the
entire
right
process.
That's
absolutely. You know what I mean? And now, you know, we have a new facet that I want to believe has always been a part of it, because I feel as though it coincides with everything else that I just named. But RawStream, can you tell us some more about the RawStream that you and my brother Swiv do, man?
Yeah, and Swivel pats his curls.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
cue the scarf.
So RawStream is definitely, I'll say it started as just a self-venture. You know, when COVID first hit, you know, a lot of artists were panicking as far as how to do a live show. So I propositioned Swivel to DJ a live streaming show for me, and we had a lot of conversation as far as how we could do it. We definitely didn't want to have an early versus battle situation where the sound messes up. So we were looking up different avenues, OBS, getting cameras, finding a venue to host it. And Swivel had the bright idea, let's contact Track Life. So we contacted Track Life, sat down with Herb, told him this is what we want to do. And it was really just supposed to be a one-off. But the more we got into it, it became something that we could offer to other artists who are looking for that space to perform. Now, my thing about it was I really want to go after the local untapped talent, the ones that don't get a lot of opportunity, the ones that do have something special to give, but for whatever reason, they ain't got one break or another. We've since ventured out to larger artists, but at the same time, that staple of let's get the ones that are hungry and they want to show out. And that also has something to do with the acquisition of said artists as well, when they feel like they got something to prove, because that's one of the biggest challenges we got. But RawStream really is just that platform to give to the artists to show out what they're doing in a new form, because I feel like this is where it's gonna eventually end up, or at least it's gonna be a strong contender to live shows. Yeah, it's because of the situation we find ourselves in with COVID. We're gonna have to find a way to perform to audiences that are not there. You've got to perform to that lens, and you got to give the same type of engagement that you would give if they were right in your face. So it's a challenge for a lot of artists that are vetted in the live performances, like myself, that really do feed off of that engagement. But it's a challenge to find out how you can make yourself pop in a different way. I think some of the younger artists are going to do a lot better in that space than some of the more seasoned artists like myself or Swivel. But it's definitely something that I'm proud of. I hit up my man Swivel so he could, you know, catch me on the ones and twos as he was always. And plus, you know, Swivel's been the most a dedicated DJ I've ever worked with. And, you know, just always, we constantly talking about, you know, different ways we're improving on our own craft, going to and coming back from those shows. Those are like real, I value those conversations. I don't think I've ever told you that in person, but I do value those conversations that we have going to it. And then also getting a chance to build with the family. I'm gonna get Imani on my side, man. Every time I come around, she looks at me like, I don't know you. I think she knows I'm here to take him away for a couple hours. So I think that's why she got it.
Imani is very sus of everybody.
Yeah, we was cool. We was cool when she was a little baby, but now that she really opening her eyes now, she
she gives everybody the stink eye. Everybody.
Man. But it's definitely something I'm excited about, and we coming back with season 2 on Wednesday. Myself, I'm doing a set, all stuff off the album. It's gonna be very special. I'm doing some twists, and then we also got Michael X Muse, and then we got Damo Gutta. It's gonna be a nice thing, and then we're adding some new entities. I don't want to spill all the beans, but there's gonna be a couple things we're doing new to promo it, little segues we're gonna introduce, and there's an eventual goal of doing actual a live taping. And that's a little further down the line. There's some things we got to iron out, but live taping is where we want to get to. And then the eventual thing is getting picked up by a major distributor. So we can pay ourselves, we can pay the artists. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, RawStream is completely free. Like we're all doing it out of love. Swivel comes down, brings his tables. I'm driving us both down there, or he's driving us both down there. Mac, our photographer, he's filming it all for free, editing it all for free. I'm engineering the vocals after the fact. Irv is producing it for all for free.
It's fly too. It's fly. That
Man,
shit looks good.
Yeah.
It's fly.
Yeah.
That shit looks like it's on HBO.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to make sure like the quality of the show and the product was like top notch. Like you would think we had, you know, a nice little budget.
Yeah, right.
You know, imagine what we can do when we do have a budget.
What we do when we do, that's being the key word.
Right.
When.
That part.
So I can't really be mad when artists say, well, what's the budget y'all got? Because it looks like we got a budget, but then when I tell them like it's all for free, it's hard for them to stomach that. Hey, you know, it's also a little kicking everybody else's ass. Like if you have an idea, find a way to execute it to its highest degree. It's not, these are not difficult things to get into. It is difficult to keep it consistent, because you'll find little potholes and little ditches when one artist drops out 3 hours before we got a tape. It becomes a challenge, right. But when you muscle through that and be consistent, you can definitely achieve that. So not only are we giving our artists a stage and the audience somebody to get behind that they might not have heard about, we're also trying to give a little bit of game to these artists coming up. Like these are little key things that you want to look at along the way. So if you want to be on a RawStream, hit me up. If you want to be on a RawStream, these are things you want to implement into your artistry. These are things that you want to try to get into and do more of. Practice these things. So and some of our artists come through with real heavy gems. Yeah. We come up with these topics like moments before we turn on the camera, and when we pitch that question to the artist, that collection plate line, that's definitely like y'all we having church up in here. Y'all need to take these gems back at home, because they teach me some things from time to time. Like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Let me implement that for myself. So it's something I'm excited about, and we're evolving constantly.
It's good quality for whoever wants to embark in that journey with y'all. They get to take home some bomb ass quality. So
hell yeah,
it looks
man.
With some incredible people on an incredible platform on top of that too.
Yeah, appreciate that, fam. It's definitely a dope show.
I'm
like proud of it.
Can you say it again for the people in the back? You know, the people in the back, when you got an idea how to just.
Hey, look, when you if you got an idea, get into gear. Nobody's gonna hand you the schematic. Nobody's gonna tell you this is how you need to do it. You got to bump your head along the way before you can actually stand all the way up in that thing. So, you're bumping your head, but you're also making room to stand up. You're also making a lot of room. So, I implore anybody, if you got an idea, just start doing it. Everybody wants to wait for that golden moment. There is no golden moment where it makes sense to do. It only makes sense to do after it's already been done. You just do it. And you might not have a whole lot of support, but there might be 2 or 3 people that say, I'm rocking with you. They might not have all the skill set, but they rocking with you. So make that thing work.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are absolutely welcome. The meticulously multi-talented, magnificent Mark W. My brother, it's always an honor and a pleasure, brother, to have you here with us, man. Like, clearly more than just family, you know what I'm saying? Like, definitely just an honor with everything that you bring to the table with your gifts, talents, but then also the conversation, brother. Greatly appreciated. If you can, just let the people know the project, where to find it, how to keep up with you, also who's on the project, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's your man's meticulously multi-talented Mark W. coming at you one more time yet again. How are you? And there to catch me ever so gracefully, as he always does, devastatingly debonair DJ Swivel. That is the RawStream plug. You can catch that on this Wednesday, 6 p.m. West Coast, 9 p.m. East Coast on the website, which is rawstream.tracklife.com. I'm sure Swivel will input that link somewhere. But as far as the project I just released, talking to myself. It's streaming on all major platforms. You can get. I prefer you get it on Tidal. I prefer you get it on Spotify. I really prefer you to buy it. So go to iTunes, all that goodness, and do that. If you want to send me a direct cash app, you can go ahead and do that. $IBS Pro. That will pay me as well. It's always good. But as far as getting in touch with me, I'm available on Facebook, Mark W Live. I'm available on Twitter. I am Mark W. I'm available on Instagram. That is my main one, Mark W Live. That's my main source where I'm always at. That's where most of the traffic is. You can get a hold of me. You can slide in my DMs. You tap in. I will tap back. Everybody that's on the project.
Everything you say make me want to dance. I feel
Hey, I'm getting better at this thing, man. I'm getting better at talking. We got Jaquay, that's a feature. We got my older brother, that's a feature. He also got a beat on their balance. He is, as quiet as it's kept, he is producing majority of side B. There, I said it. Talking to myself, side B is going to be coming out. He is producing majority of that one. He also did some background vocals on Two Hands. If you can point him out, let me know, because my mom always gets our voices confused. Then there is Lisa Mona who's doing a feature, and then Patty Del Mar. She does a lot of background vocals on Might Be a Problem and Two Hands. So definitely a joint effort. On side B, you'll see a couple more features. I won't leak those right now, but if you are following me on Instagram, there is a post where I put every feature that's on both projects. If you find that, I will send you some free merchandise.
Oh.
Yeah. Speaking of merchandise, go to link in my bio, any of any of those social medias I talked about. You can get Meticulous t-shirts. You can see this interview. You can see the interview I did with Track Life. You can see music videos that I've done that I just kind of threw out there, like little freestyles. The Everything Meticulous freestyles up there. The tracks with me and Shy Light that we did from Light Wind is up there. It's just a link tree. All that stuff is available. So I am completely accessible.
Coming from this one, talking about
you say, can we expect some what? Yes, actually, yes. Basement product will be coming out soon. We're actually directed by Manny. We're tightening up those screws right now. I gotta say, man, this is the first time in a long time I've relinquished the reins of shooting my own music videos. So it's a new experience for me. I haven't relinquished those reins in a long time, but getting into the different facets. I'm trying to, as you can see, some of the hats are missing. Let's be metaphorical here. I'm trying to take some of them hats off. So, that's me trying to venture out and see what else.
Wait. You trying to be less meticulous?
No, I'm trying to get deeper. I'm trying to get more meticulous in fewer things. See, there's one thing to be jack of all trades, but you got to be a master of one. So I'm trying to get masterful at a couple other things too.
See,
I went somewhere.
Hand those hats out as needed.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I know how the hats should fit. You know what I'm saying. So if I hand you that hat, just know I know how it's supposed to be worn. So if you ain't wearing it right, I'm gonna tell you. If I can keep the metaphor rolling.
I figured when he said it, I was like, oh yeah, he working on trying to get a baby. Yeah, you got to take that hat off.
Right.
Hey, say that in the back so my wife can hear you, baby. Oh man!
Somebody making pupusas. What's going on?
Nah, we just like
patty cake.
Hey, manifest that thing. I'm receiving. Manifest.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Yep. So
shoot the club up. Hey, shoot the club up. Shoot the club up.
Hey, look, that is a part of the 5-year plan. And Tiana and Swift will understand once that does happen. Guess whose house we're gonna be over a whole lot.
I mean, got a mini playground in the backyard.
Hey. You gotta watch out though, because somehow the babies always get in the backyard without anybody knowing. So you gotta watch them.
Hey,
gotta watch them.
Look, when you meet my wife, you'll find out why that will never happen. That is not gonna happen. But all the same, yeah. Oh, she's also meticulous and I'm gonna say maternal right now because definitely.
So that's a whole nother the meticulously multi-mom talent. I don't know, something you can figure it out.
Yeah. Meticulously maternal. That's what we go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's
But that
definitely got my back at all
doesn't start
times.
with an M.
But you know, I'm definitely accessible. Get you some of the merch, buy the album, catch RawStream this Wednesday. Season 2 is going up. If you are looking to be a part of RawStream, you think you got what it takes, me and Swivel do definitely listen to everybody's music and make sure we see it. You got it right. So send your stuff, and you might be on the next episode of RawStream.
There it is.
And if you suck,
Yeah.
you won't be on. So
If you suck, look, if you keep pestering me, I've told a few artists, they were like, yo, can I be on? Can I be on? I just wouldn't say anything, and I had to slide back in the DM. You know what? Take a little more time. You know, you ain't there yet. I've been doing it for 10 years. You might want to
Positive
consider
feedback. Come on now.
Right?
it. You know, for sure.
we even got to screen Foz if he wants to, you know, if he wants.
Hey, I'm
to
trying to get Foz up on there. Look, real talk. I'm glad we brought that up. I do want to do a kickback takeover on RawStream. I've brought it up several times where, you know, the whole team, the whole squad, Monty can come too.
I was gonna say,
Like,
Monty gotta come through deep. already.
No, they ain't gonna work. Okay, cool. I understand. But all the same, having a kickback show takeover, I think that would be, you know, great.
All right, man.
I got to get a beatbox set with you, Foz.
Hell
All right,
yeah.
let's make.
And we
let's
need to
make
bring
that
that
happen.
one back. I keep, you know, I still have it on record. The one where you go backwards. I still got that on video. I'm showing everybody. You bring.
Oh, wow.
We should do one of these track life lives. One of these, you know what I'm saying? One of these the kickback show lives, and everybody do a little something. So I will pop lock. You know what I'm saying? T, sing, rap, DJ, beatbox, and then we do it.
See?
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it.
all
Let's do it.
elements of hip hop covered.
All of
For
it.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
I love
Man,
it,
it's always a blessing to kick it with y'all, man. I love hanging out with y'all. This is great.
man. Definitely,
It's
man.
good.
Peace to you, brother. Greatly appreciate you as always. And continue to follow us at the Kickback Show on all your social media devices, whatever they may be. Holla at us. I go by WaveCap Johnny at WaveCap Johnny on Instagram, Twitter, and she is
Organic blackberry, tastes like it sound like it tastes. And she is
Working on a pop locking. Tiana Giovanna on everything across the board. Tiana Giovanna. And he is.
DJ Swivel on Twitter and Swivel on Instagram, SWIVLL.
And shout out to Zachy Morris. We haven't shouted him out in a minute. He's still tapped in.
shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zachy.
Entertainment is his brand. So check him out.
shout
Yeah.
out to all the black brands y'all wearing. I see y'all. Everybody got a little black brand on. You know what I'm saying? When we keep
You know
our
what I
money inside of the market, you know what I'm saying? We grow as a people.
Hey.
So go ahead.
Yes.
That part.
Black History Month is 365 around these parts. You understand me?
We can't
Feel
take
me?
this shit off, so it's always Black History.
Yeah.
I don't take no days off.
Don't
Never.
I know, right? Why would
Never
we-
ever.
It is off.
this shit is fly. Like what
Yeah.
you said.
You seen the way my skin glisten in the sunlight, man? Like,
Yeah, it's always the LSNA that always got to talk about their highly melanated. That's just wonderful. For all those who
The
don't
little
know,
jokey joke. Little jokey
Light Skin
joke.
Niggas Association. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. I'm
Well,
highly dark skinned. I don't know what y'all saw. I'm dark. as hell.
Well, now we can also incorporate Afro Latina. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Afro-Latino,
yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm part of that Afro Latinx.
You better go
diaspora.
ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
So, yeah.
we
Got
see
my
it all right
credentials.
here. It's all up in here. We see all
Hey,
up in here.
you got the documentation to prove
You
it, so
see it
you
all up
good.
in here.
Hey,
Papers.
got my paperwork.
You
got
got
my paperwork.
I need me some homemade tortillas. I want it. Homemade.
Yep.
They're not gonna be delicious this first go round, but I'm gonna work on it.
Okay, get it together. Get it together.
It'll be-
Get it together.
They'll be store bought the first couple go rounds, and then you know what I'm
Okay.
saying.
And then
Okay.
eventually you'll slide in your recipe and you won't be able to tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Won't
Boom.
even be telling the difference. You know what I'm saying? You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Let's do it. We can do it.
Yeah.
We
I'm gonna
do
need
the whole
some
vegan
food systems and
taco
greens.
set.
I got you. I may have to start a whole new thing. You know what I'm saying? Get some soul food.
Yep.
you're gonna have to.
Wave cap bonito.
Chef Cap Johnny.
Chef Cap.
Chef Cap
John.
Johnny.
Trademark. Hit
Love
Hey,
it.
Run the disclaimer. Run the disclaimer.
The ideas and the viewpoints and everything else that have been presented by DJ Swivel, the meticulously multi-talented Mark W, Tiana Giovanna, Organic Blackberry, Imani, Ava, and myself are sole propriety of us and our parent companies and subsidiaries.
Hey, cover that ass.
Yeah, not to be reused, reduplicated, or anything. Yeah, the perpetuity.
The perpetuity of the universe. This nigga said of the universe.
Oh, man, you know how many of those I've signed? God damn.
Without the express written consent.
Yeah.
Without the express written consent.
Put the dot on that thing. That's what I'm talking about.
Like one person can't sign. All of us need
all of us gotta sign.
All of us.
And if we got some future babies in there, they gotta sign too. So
exactly.
That's why I mentioned Ava and Imani.
I like that little.
Because Imani's not signing shit.
Reference
I
you
can
put
tell
in
you
there.
that straight up.
Yeah.
She gonna read it, reread it again, and then look at you like crazy.
Yeah.
She gonna be so disrespectful. Right when you go to grab it, she gonna drop it.
Yeah.
That I see.
She's done that. She's done that before to me. She probably did it earlier today. Let's be honest.
Yeah, man.
Actually, I think she.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
As always, what we going out with?
We might as well go out with the lead single of this thing, Basement Product. I've been talking about it for a while, but that is the one that everybody is gravitating towards. It's a cool track. I like it. I definitely love performing it. You're going to want to see that performance on the 24th. So it will definitely capitalize and say, damn, you brought all the energy. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yes.
So let's end it off with Basement Product.
I love it.
Once again, Mark W in the building. This is the Kickback Show, thekickbackshow.com. Snitch.
You snitch.
Peace.
Deuces.
For new and exclusive music, listen to The Kickback Show.
Basement's a motherfucker. Yeah. If you like me, you a product of the basement. Please keep the mud, I'ma clean up, going ape shit. Different cut of cloth, see the fabric when the bed clean. When the bed clean.